I'm going to say a few words. And first of all, welcome to the Willits Community Theater. And welcome to our staged reading of King Lear by William Shakespeare. Now is a very good time to turn off your cell phones, if you've got cell phones. And I also want to take this opportunity to thank Les Schwab Tires for underwriting our season. We've had a lot of fun working with this great play. We have a stellar cast. I'm very proud of our cast. And if the cast is ready, please welcome our cast. Come on in.
I thought the king had more affected the Duke of Albany than Cornwall.
It always did seem so to us, but now, in the division of the kingdom, it appears not which of the dukes he values most, for equalities are so weighed that curiosity in neither can make choice of either's motive.
Is not this your son, my lord?
His breeding, sir, hath been at my charge. I have so oft blushed to acknowledge him, that now I'm braced to it.
I cannot conceive you.
Sir, this young fellow's mother could. Whereupon she grew round-wombed, and had indeed, sir, a son for her cradle, ere she had a husband for her bed.
Oh.
Do you smell that fault?
I cannot wish the fault undone, the issue of it being so proper.
But I have, sir, a son, by order of law, some years elder than this, who is yet no dear in my account, though this knave came somewhat saucily into the world before he was sent for. Yet was his mother fair. There was good sport in his making, and the whoreson must be acknowledged. Do you know this noble gentleman, Edmund?
No, my lord.
My lord of Kent. Remember him hereafter as my honorable friend.
My services to your lordship.
I must love you and sue to know you better.
Sir, I shall study deserving.
He hath been out 9 years, and away he shall again. Ah, the king is coming.
Attend the lords of France and Burgundy, Gloucester.
I shall, my liege.
Meantime, we shall express our darker purpose. Give me the map here. In 3 our kingdom we shall divide, and 'tis our fast intent to shake all cares and business from our age, conferring them on younger generations. Unburthened, we'll crawl towards death. Our son of Cornwall, and you, our noble, loving son of Albany, we have this hour a constant will to publish our daughter's several dowers, that future strife may be prevented now. The princes, France and Burgundy, great rivals in our youngest daughter's love, long in our court, have made their amorous sojourn, and here are to be answered. Tell me, my daughters, since now we will divest us both of rule, interest of territory, cares of state, which of you shall we say doth love us most? That we our largest bounty may extend where nature doth with merit challenge. Goneril, our eldest born, speak first.
Sir, I love you more than words can wield the matter. Dearer than eyesight, space, and liberty. Beyond what can be valued rich or rare. No less than life, with grace, health, beauty, honor. As much as child e'er loved or father found. A love that makes breath poor and speech unable. Unable all manner of so much. I love you.
What shall Cordelia do? Love and be silent.
Of all these bounds, even from this line to this, with shadowy forests and with champaigns rich with plenteous rivers and wide-skirted meads, we make thee lady. To thine and Albany's issue, be this perpetual. And what says our second daughter, our dearest Reagan, wife to Cornwall? Speak.
I am made of that self-metal as my sister, and prize me at her worth. In my true heart I find she names my very deed of love, only she comes too short. I profess myself an enemy to all other joys, which the most precious square of senses possesses, and find I am alone felicitate in your dear highness's love.
Then poor Cordelia. And yet not so, since I'm sure my love is more ponderous than my tongue.
To thee and thine hereditary ever, remain this ample third of our fair kingdom, no less in space, validity, and pleasure than that conferred on Goneril. And now, our joy, although not the last, not the least, to whose young love the vines of France and the milk of Burgundy strive to be interest. What can you say to draw a third more opulent than your sisters? Speak.
Nothing, my lord.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing will come of nothing. Speak again.
Unhappy that I am, I cannot heave my heart into my mouth. I love your majesty, according to my bond, nor more nor less.
Oh, Cordelia. Mend your speech a little, lest you mar your fortunes.
Good my lord, you have begot me, bred me, loved me. I return those duties back as are right fit. Obey you, love you, and most honor you. Why have my sisters husbands, if they say they love you all? Haply, when I shall wed, that lord whose hand must take my plight shall carry half my love with him, half my care and duty. Sure, I shall never marry like my sisters to love my father all.
But does thy heart go with this?
Aye, good, my lord.
So young and so untender.
So young, my lord, and true.
Let it be so. Thy truth, then, be thy dower. For by the sacred radiance of the sun, the mysteries of Hecate and the night, by all the operations of the orbs from whom we do exist and cease to be, I here disclaim all my paternal care, propinquity, and property of blood. And as a stranger to my heart and me, hold thee from this forever. The barbarous Scythian, or he that makes his generation messes to gorge his appetite, shall to my bosom be as well neighbored, pitied, and relieved as thou, my sometime daughter.
Good, my liege.
Peace, Kent. Come not between the dragon and his wrath. I loved her most, and thought to set my rest on her kind nursery. Hence, and avoid my sight. So be my grave my peace, as here I give her father's heart from her. Call France. Who stirs? Call Burgundy, Cornwall, and Albany. With my 2 daughters' dower, digest this third. Let pride, which she calls plainness, marry her. I do invest you jointly with my power, preeminence, and all the large effects that troop with majesty. Ourself by monthly course, with reservation of 100 nights, by you to be sustained, shall our abode make with you by due terms. Only we shall retain the name and all the additions to a king. The sway, revenue, execution of the rest, beloved sons, be yours, and which to confirm this coronet part between you.
Royal Lear, whom I have ever loved as my king, loved as my father, as my master followed, as my great patron brought thought on in my prayers.
The bow is bent, make from the shaft.
Let it fall rather through the fork, invade the region of my heart. Be Kent unmannerly when Lear's mad? What wouldst thou do, old man? Thinkest thou that duty shall have dread to speak, when power to flattery bows? To plainness honor's bound, when majesty stoops to folly. Reverse thy doom, and in thy best consideration, check this hideous rashness. Answer my life, my judgment. Thy youngest daughter does not love thee least, nor are those empty-hearted, whose low sound reverbs no hollowness.
Kent, on thy life, no more.
My life I never held but as a pawn to wage against thy enemies, nor fear to lose it, thy safety being the motive.
Out of my sight!
See better, Lear, then we still remain the true blank of thine eye.
Now, by Apollo!
By Apollo, king, thou swearest the gods in vain.
Out, vassal! Miscreant!
Do kill thy physician, and flee the fee bestow upon thy foul disease. Revoke thy doom, or whilst I can vent clamor from my throat, I'll tell thee thou dost evil.
Hear me, miscreant. On thy allegiance, hear me, since thou hast sought to make us break our vow, which we durst never yet, and with stained pride to come between our sentence and our power, which is of our nature, nor our place can bear, our potency made good. Take thy reward. 5 days do we allot thee for provision, to shield thee from diseases of the world, and on the 6th to turn thy hated back upon our kingdom. If on the 10th day following the banished trunk of yours be found in our dominions, that moment is thy truth. Away, by Jupiter, thou shalt not have this revoked.
Fare thee well, king. Sith does thou well to peer, freedom hence, and banishment is here.
The gods to their dear shelter take thee, maid, that justly thinks and has said most right.
And your large speeches may your deeds approve, that good effects may spring from words of love. Thus, Kent, O princes, bid you all adieu. I'll shape my course in a country new.
Here's France and Burgundy, my noble lord.
My lord of Burgundy and France. When she was dear to us, we did hold her so. But now, her price has fallen. Sir, there she stands. If aught within that little seeming substance, or all of it, with our displeasure pierced, and nothing more, may fitly alike your grace, she's there, and she's yours. Burgundy?
Most royal majesty, I crave no more than what your highness offered, nor will you...
Will you, with those infirmities she owes, unfriended, new adopted to our hate, dowered with our curse, and strangered with our oath, take her or leave her?
I know no. Pardon me, sir, election makes not upon such conditions.
Then leave her, sir. For by the power that made me, I tell you all her wealth. For you, great king, I would not from your love make such a stray to match you where I hate. Therefore, beseech you to avert your liking a more worthier way than on a wretch whom nature is ashamed almost to acknowledge.
This is most strange that she, that even but now, was the best object, the argument of your praise, balm of your age. Most best, most dearest, should in this thrice of time commit a thing so monstrous, to dismantle so many folds of favor. Sure, her offense must have been monstrous, or your fore-avouched affection fallen detained, which to believe of her must be a faith that reason without miracle could never plant in me.
I yet beseech your majesty, for I want that glib and oily art to speak and purpose not, since what I well intend, I'll do it before I speak. That you make known it is no vicious blot, murder, or foulness, no unchaste action or dishonored step that hath deprived me of your grace and favor. But even for want of that for which I am richer, a still soliciting eye and such a tongue I am glad I have not, though not heaven have lost me in your liking.
Better thou hadst not been born than not to have pleased me better.
It is but this, a tardiness in nature which often leaves the history and spoke that it intends to do. My lord of Burgundy, what say you to the lady? Love's not love when it's mingled with regards that stand aloof from the entire point. Will you have her? She herself is a dowry.
Royal Lear, give but that portion which yourself proposed, and here I take Cordelia by the hand, Duchess of Burgundy.
Nothing. I am sworn.
I am sorry that you have so lost a father that you must lose a husband.
Peace be with Burgundy. Since that respects of fortune are his love, I shall not be his wife.
Fairest Cordelia, that are most rich being poor, most choice forsaken, and most loved despised. Thee and thy virtues here I seize upon. Be it lawful, I take up what's been cast away. Gods, 'tis strange that from their cold neglect my love should kindle to such respect. Thy dowerless daughter, king, thrown to my chance, is queen of us, of ours, and our fair friends. Not all the dukes of waterless Burgundy could buy this unprized, precious maid of me. Bid them farewell, Cordelia. Though unkind, thou losest here a better where to find.
Thou hast her, France. Let her be thine, for we have no such daughter, nor shall ever see that face of hers again. Therefore be gone, without our grace, our love, our benison. Come, noble Burgundy.
Bid farewell to your sisters.
The jewels of our father, washed eyes, Cordelia leaves you. I know you, what you are, and like a sister, most loath to call your faults as they are named. Use our father well. To your best bosoms, I commit him. Yet, alas, stood I within his grace, I would prefer him to a better place. So farewell to you both.
Prescribe us not our duties.
Let your study be to content your lord, who hath received you at fortune's arms. That you have obedience scanted, and well are worth the want of that you have wanted.
Time shall unfold what plated cunning hides, who cover faults at last shames and derides. Well, may you prosper.
Come, my fair Cordelia.
Sister, it is not a little I have to say, but most nearly appertains to us both. I think our father will hence tonight.
That's most certain. And with you next month with us.
You see how full of charges his age is. The observation we have made of it hath not been little. He always loved our sister most, and with what poor judgment he hath now cast her off appears too grossly.
'Tis the infirmary of his age. Yet he hath ever but slenderly known himself.
The best and soundest of his time hath been but rash. Then must we look to receive from his age not alone the imperfections of long engrafted condition, but therewithal the unruly waywardness that infirm and choleric years bring with them.
Such unconstant starts are we like to have from him as this of Kent's banishment.
There is friendly compliment of leave-taking between France and him. Pray, let's hit together. If our father carry authority with such dispositions as he bears, this last surrender of his will but offend us.
We shall further think on it.
We must do something, and in the heat.
Thou, nature, art my goddess. To thy law my services are bound. Wherefore should I stand in the plague of custom and permit the curiosity of nations to deprive me? For that I am some 12 or 14 moonshines lag of a brother? Why bastard? Wherefore base? When my dimensions are as well compact, my mind is generous and my shape is true, as honest madam's issue. Why brand they us with base, with baseness, bastardy? Base, base! Who in the lusty stealth of nature take more composition and fierce quality than doth, within a dull, stale, tired bed, go to the creating a whole tribe of fops, got tween asleep and wake? Well then, legitimate Edgar, I must have your land. Our father's love is to the bastard Edmund. As to the legitimate, fine word, legitimate. Well, my legitimate, if this letter speed and my invention thrive, Edmund the base shall top the legitimate. I grow, I prosper. Now, gods, stand up for bastards.
Kent banished thus, and France parted, and the king gone tonight? Subscribed his power, confined to exhibition, all this done upon the gad? How now, Edmund? What news?
So please your lordship, none.
Well, why so earnestly seek you to put up that letter?
I know no news, my lord.
Oh, what paper were you reading?
Nothing, my lord.
No. What needed then that terrible dispatch of it into your pocket? The quality of nothing have not such need to hide itself. Let's see. Come, if it be nothing, I shall not need these spectacles.
I beseech you, sir, pardon me. It is a letter from my brother that I have not all o'erread, and for so much as I have perused, I find it not fit for your o'erlooking.
Give me the letter, sir.
I shall offend either to detain or give it. The contents, as in part I understand them, are to blame.
Let's see.
I hope for my brother's justification he wrote this but as an essay or taste of my virtue.
This policy and reverence of age makes the world bitter to the best of our times, keeps our fortunes from us till our oldness cannot relish them. I begin to find an idle and fond bondage in the oppression of age tyranny, who sways not as it hath power, but as it is suffered. Come to me, that of this I may speak more. If our father would sleep till I waked him, you should enjoy half his revenue forever, and live the beloved of your brother Edgar. Conspiracy! Sleep till I waked him? You should enjoy half his revenue? My son Edgar? Had he a hand to write this, a heart and brain to breathe it in? When came this to you? Who brought it?
It was not brought me, my lord. There's the cunning of it. I found it thrown in at the casement of my closet.
Well, you know the character to be your brother's?
If the matter were good, my lord, I durst swear it were his. But in respect of that, I would fain think it were not.
Oh, it is his.
It is his hand, my lord. but I hope his heart is not in the contents.
Has he never heretofore sounded you in this business?
Never, my lord, but I have heard him oft maintain it to be fit that sons at perfect age and fathers declining, the father should be as ward to the son, and the son manage his revenue.
Oh, villain! His very opinion in the letter. Abhorred villain! Unnatural, detested, brutish villain. Worse than brutish. Go, sir, seek him. I apprehend him. Abominable villain. Where is he?
I do not well know, my lord. If it shall please you to suspend your indignation against my brother, till you can derive from him better testimony of his intent, you should run a certain course, where, if you violently proceed against him, mistaking his purpose, it would make a great gap in your own honor, and shake in pieces the heart of his obedience. I dare pawn down my life for him, that he hath both is to feel my affection to your honor, and to no further pretense of danger.
Think you so?
If your honor judge it meet, I will place you where you shall hear us confer of this, and by an auricular assurance have your satisfaction, and that without any further delay than this very evening.
He cannot be such a monster.
Nor is not sure.
To his father, that so tenderly and entirely loves him, heaven and earth. Edmund, seek him out, wind me into him, I pray you. For in the business of, after your own wisdom, I would unstake myself to be in due resolution.
I will seek him, sir, presently. Convey the business as I shall find means, and acquaint you with all.
These late eclipses in the sun and moon portend no good to us. Though the wisdom of nature can reason it thus and thus, yet nature finds itself scourged by the sequent effects. Love cools, friendships fall off. Brothers divide, in cities mutinies, in countries discord, in palaces treason, and the bond cracked twixt son and father. This villain of mine comes under the prediction. There's son against father. The king falls from bias of nature. There's father against child. We have seen the best of our time. Machinations, hollowness, treachery, all ruinous disorders follow us disquietly to our graves. Find out this villain, Edmund, it shall lose thee nothing. Do it carefully. And the noble and true-hearted Kent banished his offense. Honestly.
This is the excellent foppery of the world, that when we are sick in fortune, often the surfeit of our own behavior, we make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon, and the stars, as if we were villains by necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion, knaves, thieves, and treacherous, by spherical predominance, drunkards, liars, and adulterers, by an enforced obedience of planetary influence, and all that we are evil in, by a divine thrusting on, an admirable evasion of whoremaster man, to lay his goatish disposition to the charge of a star. My father compounded with my mother under the dragon's tail, and my nativity was under Ursa Major, so that it follows I am rough and lecherous. I would have been that I am, had the maidenliest star in the firmament twinkled on my bastardizing. Edgar. And Patty comes, like the catastrophe of the old comedy. My cue is villainous melancholy, with a sigh like Tom o' Bedlam. Oh, these eclipses do portend these divisions. Fa solam.
Oh no, Brother Edmund. What serious contemplation are you in?
I am thinking, brother, of a prediction I read the other day. What should follow these eclipses?
Do you busy yourself about that?
I promise you, the effects of writ succeed unhappily as of unnaturalness between the child and the parent, death, dearth, dissolutions of ancient amities, divisions in state, menaces and maledictions against king and nobles, needless diffidences, banishment of friends, dissipation of cards, nuptial breaches, and I know not what.
How long have you been a sectary astronomical?
Come. When saw you my father last?
Oh, why, the night gone by.
Spake you with him?
Aye, 2 hours together.
Parted you in good terms? Found you no displeasure in him by word or countenance?
None at all.
Bethink yourself where you may have offended him. And at my entreaty, forbear his presence till some little time hath qualified the heat of his displeasure, which at this instant so rages in him that with the mischief of your person it would scarcely allay.
Some villain hath done me wrong.
That's my fear. I pray you, have a continent forbearance, till the speed of his rage goes slower. And as I say, retire with me to my lodging, from whence I will fitly bring you to hear my lord speak. Pray ye go. There's my key. If you do stir abroad, go armed.
Armed, brother.
Brother, I advise you to the best. Go armed. I am no honest man if there be any good means towards you. I have told you what I have seen and heard, but faintly nothing like the image and horror of it. Pray you, away.
Well, shall I see you? Far none.
I do serve you in this business. A credulous father and a brother noble, whose nature is so far from doing harms that he suspects none, on whose foolish honesty my practices ride easy. I see the business. Let me, if not by birth, have lands by wit, all with me's meet that I can fashion fit.
Did my father strike my gentleman for chiding of his fool?
Yes, madam.
By day and night he wrongs me. Every hour he flashes into one gross crime or other that sets us all at odds. I'll not endure it. His nights grow riotous, and himself upbraids us on every trifle. When he returns from hunting, I will not speak with him. Say I am sick. If you come slack of former services, you shall do well. The fault of it I'll answer.
He's coming, madam. I hear him.
Put on what weary negligence you please, you and your fellows. I have come to question if he distaste it. Let him to our sister, whose mind and mine, I know, in that are one, not to be overruled. Idle old man that would manage those authorities that hath given away. Now, by my life, old fools are babes again, and must be used with checks as flatteries, when they are seen abused. Remember what I tell you.
Very well, madam.
And let his knights have colder looks among you. What grows of it no matter. Advise your fellows so. I would breathe from hence occasions, and I shall, that I may speak. I'll ride straight to my sister to hold my every course. Prepare for dinner.
If but I as well other accents borrow, then can my speech diffuse my good intent, may carry through to itself to the full issue for which I raised my likeness. Now, banished Kent, if thou canst serve where thou dost stand condemned, so may it come, thy master whom thou lovest shall find thee full of labors.
May not stay a jot for dinner. Go get it ready. How now, what art thou?
A man, sir.
What dost thou profess? What wouldst thou with us?
I do profess to be no less than I seem, to serve him truly that will put trust in me, to love him that is honest, to converse with him that is wise and says little, to fear judgment, to fight when I cannot choose, and to eat no fish.
What art thou?
Oh, a very honest-hearted fellow, and as poor as the king.
If thou be as poor for a subject as he is for a king, thou art poor enough. What wouldst thou?
Service.
Who wouldst you serve?
You.
Dost thou know me, fellow?
No, sir. But you have in your countenance, which I would fain call master.
Well, what's that?
Authority.
What services canst thou do?
I can keep honest counsel, ride, run, mar a curious tale in telling it, and deliver a plain message bluntly. That which ordinary men I am fit for. I am qualified in, and the best of me is diligence.
How old art thou?
Not so young, sir, to love a woman for singing, nor so old to dote on her for anything. I have years on my back, 48.
Follow me. Thou shalt serve me. If I like thee no worse after dinner, I will not part with thee yet. Dinner. Oh, dinner! Where's my knave, my fool? Go you and call my fool hither. You, sirrah, where's my daughter?
So please you.
What says that fellow there? Call the clock pole back. Where's my fool? I think the world's asleep. Hannah, where's that mongrel?
He says, my lord, your daughter is not well.
Why came not the slave back to me when I called him?
Sir, he answered me in the roundest manner. He would not.
He would not.
My lord, I know not what the matter is. But to my judgment, your highness is not entertained with that ceremonious affection that you want. There is a great abandonment of kindness appears as well in the general dependence, as in the Duke himself, also in your daughter.
Sayest thou so?
I beseech you, pardon me, my lord, if I be mistaken, for my duty cannot be silent when I think your highness wrong.
Thou but rememberest me of mine own conception. I have perceived a most faint neglect of late, which I have rather blamed as mine own jealous curiosity than as a very pretense and purpose of unkindness. I will look further into it. But where's my fool? I have not seen him this 2 days.
Since my young lady's going into France, sir, the fool has much pined away.
No more of that. I have noted it well. Go you and tell my daughter I would speak with her.
Yes, sir.
And go you call my fool hither. Ah, you, sir. Come you hither. Sir, who am I?
My lady's father.
My lady's father. My lord's knave, you whoreson dog, you slave, you cur.
I am none of these, my lord. I beseech you.
Do you bandy looks with me, you rascal?
I'll not be struck, my lord.
Not trick neither, you base football player. Ha, ha, ha. Rise away, I'll teach you differences. Now, take your measure again, sow wisdom away. So.
I thank thee, sir. Thou servest me, and thou love me.
Let me hire him too. Here's my coxcomb.
How now, my pretty knave, how dost thou?
Sirrah, you were best take my coxcomb.
Why, fool?
Why, for taking one's part that's out of favor. Nay, and thou canst not smile as the wind sits. Thou'lt catch cold shortly. There, take my coxcomb. Why, this fellow hath banished 2 one's daughters and done the third a blessing against his will. If thou follow him, thou must needs wear my coxcomb. How now, Knuckle? Would I have 2 coxcombs and 2 daughters?
Why, my boy?
If I give them all my living, I'll keep coxcombs myself. There's mine. Beg another of thy daughters.
Take heed, sirrah, the whip.
Truth the dog must to kennel. He must be whipped out when Lady the Brock may stand by the fire and stink.
That pestilent gall to me.
Sirrah, I'll teach thee a speech.
Oh, do.
Mark it, Nuncle. Have more than thou showest, speak less than thou knowest, lend more than thou owest, ride more than thou goest, learn more than thou trowest, set less than thou throwest. Leave thy drink and thy whore, and keep in a door, and thou shalt have more than 2 tens to a score.
This is nothing, fool.
Thence is like the breath of an unfeed lawyer. You gave me nothing for it. Can you make use of nothing, Nuncle?
Well, why no, boy. Nothing can be made out of nothing.
Prithee tell him, so much the rent of his land comes to, he will not believe a fool.
A bitter fool.
Dost thou know the difference, my boy, between a bitter fool and a sweet fool?
No. Teach me.
That lord that counseled thee to give away thy land, come place him here by me. Do thou for him stand. The sweet and bitter fool will presently appear, the one in motley here, the other found out there.
Dost thou call me fool, boy?
All thy other titles thou hast given away, that thou wast born with.
This is not altogether fool, my lord.
No faith, lord and great men will not let me. If I had a monopoly out, they would have part on it, and ladies too. They will not let me have all the fool to myself. They'll be snatching. Give me an egg, uncle, and I'll give thee 2 crowns.
What 2 crowns shall they be?
Why, after I have cut the egg in the middle and eat up the meat, the 2 crowns of the egg. When thou clovest thy crown in the middle and gavest away both parts, thou borest thine ass on thy back over the dirt. Thou hadst little wit in thy bald crown when thou gavest thy golden one away. If I speak like myself in this, let him be whipped that first finds it so. Fools had ne'er less wit in a year, for wise men are grown foppish, and know not how they wits up to where their manners are so apish.
When were you so wont to be so full of song, sirrah?
I have used it, uncle, ever since thou madest thy daughters thy mother. For when thou gavest them the rod and puttest down thine own breeches, then they for sudden joy did weep, and I for sorrow sung, that such a king should play bo peep, and go the fools among. Prithee, uncle, keep a school teacher that can teach thy fool to lie. I would fain learn to lie.
And you lie, sirrah, will have you whipped.
I marvel what kin thou and thy daughters are. They'll have me whipped for speaking true. They'll have me whipped for lying, and sometimes I am whipped for holding my peace. I'd rather be any kind of thing than a fool, and yet I would not be thee, uncle. Thou hast spared thy wit on both sides and left nothing in the middle. Here comes one of the parents.
How now, daughter? What makes that frontlet on? Methinks you are too much of late in the frown.
Thou wast a pretty fellow when thou hadst no need to care for her frowning. Now thou art an O without a figure. I am better than thou art now. I am a fool. Thou art nothing. Yes, forsooth, I will hold my tongue, so your face bids me, though you say nothing. Mum, mum, he that keeps nor crust nor crumb, weary of all shall want some. That's a shield peascod.
Not only, sir, this your all-licensed fool, but other of your insolent retinue do hourly carp and quarrel, breaking forth in rank and not to be endured riots. Sir, I had thought, by making this well known unto you, to have found a safe address. But now I grow fearful, by what yourself too late have spoken done, that you protect this course, and put it on by your allowance, which if you should, the fault would not scape censure, nor the redresses sleep, which in the tender of a wholesome wheel might in their working do you that offense, which else were shame, that then necessity will call discreet proceeding.
For you know, uncle, the hedge sparrow fed the cuckoo so long that it had its head bit off by its young. So out went the candle, and we were left darkling.
Are you our daughter?
Come, sir. I would you make use of that good wisdom whereof I know you are fraught, and put away these dispositions that of late transform you from what you rightly are.
May not an ass know where the cart draws the horse? Whoop! Jug, I love thee.
Dost any here know me? This is not Lear. Doth Lear walk thus? Speak thus? Where are his eyes? Either his notion weakens, his discernings are lethargy. Ha! Waking? 'Tis not so. Who is it that can tell me who I am?
Lear's shadow.
I would learn that, boy. For by the marks of sovereignty, knowledge and reason, I should be false persuaded I had daughters.
Which they will make an obedient father.
Your name, fair gentlewoman?
This admiration, sir, is much the savor of your other new pranks. I do beseech you to understand my purposes aright. As you are old and reverend, you should be wise. Here do you keep 100 knights and squires, men so disordered, so debauched and bold, that this our court, infected with their manners, shows like a riotous inn, epicurism and lust. Make it more like a tavern or a brothel than a graced palace. The shame itself doth speak for instant remedy. Be then desired by her that else will take the thing she begs, a little to disquantity your train, and the remainder that shall still depend to be such men as may besort your age, which know themselves in you.
Darkness and devils. Saddle my horses! Call my train together! Degenerate bastard! I'll not trouble thee, yet I have a daughter.
You strike my people, and your rabble make servants of their betters.
Whoa, that too late repents. Oh, you, sir. Are you come? Is it your will? Speak, sir. Prepare my horses. Ingratitude, thou marble-hearted fiend. More hideous than when thou showest thee in a child than the sea monster.
Pray, sir, be patient.
Detested kite. Thou liest. My train are men of choice and rarest parts, that all particulars of duty know, and in the most exact regard support the worships of their name. Oh, most small fault! How ugly didst thou in Cordelia show, that like an engine wretched in my frame of nature from the fixed place, drew from my heart of love and added to the gall. Oh, Lear, Lear, be at this gate that let this folly in, and thy dear judgment out. Go, go, my people.
My lord, I am guiltless as I am ignorant of what hath moved you.
It may be so, my lord. Here, nature, here, dear goddess, here, suspend thou thy purpose. If thou did intend to make this creature fruitful, into her womb convey sterility, dry up her organs of increase, and from her derogate body never spring a babe to honor her. If she must teem, create her child of spleen, that it may live and be athwart disnatured torment to her. Let it stamp wrinkles in her brow of youth, with cadent tears fret channels in her cheeks, turn all her mother's pains and benefits to laughter and contempt, that she may feel how sharper than a serpent's tooth it is to have a thankless child. Away, away.
Now, God said we adore. Wherefore comes this?
Never afflict yourself to know the cause, but let his disposition have that scope that dotage gives it.
What? 50 of my followers at a clap? Within a fortnight?
What's the matter, sir?
I'll tell thee. Life and death. I am ashamed that thou hast power to shake my manhood thus. That these hot tears which break from me perforce should make thee worth them. Bastion fogs upon thee. The untented woundings of a father's curse pierce every sense about thee. Oh, fond eyes, beweet this cause again. I'll pluck ye out and cast you in the waters that you lose to temper clay. Yea, it is come to this. Let it be so. Yet I have a daughter, who I am sure is kind and comfortable. When she shall hear of this, with her nails she'll flay thy wolfish visage. Thou shalt find that thou resume the shape which thou dost think I have cast off forever. Thou shalt, I warrant thee.
Do you mark that, my lord?
I cannot be so partial, Goneril, to the great love I bear you.
Pray you content. What? Oswald, ho!
Knuckle Lear, tarry. Take the fool with thee. A fox, when one has caught her, and such a daughter, should not sure to the slaughter, if my cap would buy a halter. So the fool follows after.
This man hath had good counsel 100 nights. 'Tis politic and safe to let him keep at point 100 nights, yes. That on every dream, each buzz, each fancy, each complaint, dislike he may enguard his dotage with his powers, and hold our lives in mercy. Oswald, I say,
Well, you may fear too far.
Safer than trust too far. Let me take away the harms I fear. Not fear still to be taken. I know his heart. What he hath uttered, I have writ my sisters, if she sustain him in his 100 nights, when I have showed the unfitness. How now, Oswald? What have you writ that letter to my sister?
Yes, ma'am.
Take you some company, and away to horse, inform her full of my particular fear, and there to add such reasons of your own that may compact it more. Get you gone, and hasten your return. No, my lord, this milky gentleness and course of yours, though I condemn not, yet under pardon, you are much more attacked for want of wisdom than praised for harmful mindfulness.
How far your eyes may pierce, I cannot tell. Striving to better, oft we mar what's well.
Nay then.
Well, the event.
Brought near to beast, my face I'll grime with filth. Blanket my loins, elf, all my hair in knots, and with presented nakedness outface the winds and persecutions of the sky. The country gives me proof and precedent of bedlam beggars, who with roaring voices strike in their numbed and mortified bare arms pins, wooden pricks, nails, sprigs of rosemary, and with this horrible object, from low farms, poor pelting villages, sheepcotes and mills, sometimes with lunatic bands, sometimes with prayers, enforce their charity. Poor Turligod, poor Tom. That's something yet. Edgar, I nothing am.
It's strange that they should so depart from home and not send back my messenger.
As I learned the night before, there was no purpose in them of this remove.
Hail to thee, O noble master!
Thinkest thou this shame thy pastime?
No, my lord.
He wears cruel garters. Horses are tied by the heads, dogs and bears by the neck, monkeys by the loins, and men by the legs. When a man's over lusty at legs, then he wears wooden nether stocks.
What's he that hath so much thy placement took to set thee there?
It is both he and she, your son and daughter.
No.
Yes.
No, I say.
I say yea.
No, they would not.
Yes, they have.
By Jupiter, I swear no.
By Juno, I swear aye.
They durst not do it. They could not. They would not do it. 'Tis worse than murder to do upon respect such violent outrage. Resolve me with all modest haste, which way thou mightst deserve, or they impose this usage coming from us.
My lord, when at their home I did commend your highness letters to them, ere I was risen from the place that showed my duty kneeling, came there a reeking post, stood in his haste, half breathless, panting forth from Goneril his mistress' salutations. Delivered letters, spite of intermission, which presently they read, on whose contents they summoned up their meaning, straight to course, commanded me to follow and attend the leisure of their answer, gave me cold looks, and meeting here the other messenger, whose welcome I received at poison mind, and being the very fellow that of late, so saucidly had they been against your highness, and having more man than wit about me, drew. He raised the house with loud and coward cries. Your son and daughter found the trespass worth the shame which herein it suffers.
Winter's not gone yet if the wild geese fly that way. Fathers that wear rags do make their children blind, but fathers that bear bags shall see their children kind. Fortune that errant whore ne'er turns the key to the poor. But for all this thou shalt have as many dollars for thy daughters as thou canst sell in a year.
Oh, this mother swells up toward my heart. Hysterica passio, down! Thou climbing sorrow, thy elements below. Where is this daughter?
With the earl, sir, here within.
Follow me not. Stay here.
Made you no more offense than what you speak of?
None. How chance the king comes here with so small a train?
And now has been said in the stocks for that question, now has well deserved it.
Why, fool?
We'll send thee to school to an ant to teach thee there's no laboring in the winter. All that follow their noses are led by their eyes, but blind men. And there's not a nose among 20 but can smell them that stinking. Let go thy hold when a great wheel runs down a hill, lest it break thy neck with following it. But the great one that goes up the hill, let him draw thee after. When a wise man gives thee better counsel, give me mine again. I would have none but knaves follow it, since a fool gives it. That sir which serves and seeks for gain, and follows but for form, will pack when it begins to rain, and leave thee in the storm. But I will tarry, the fool will stay, and let the wise man fly. The knave turns fool that runs away, the fool no knave, perdy.
Where you learn this, fool?
Not in the stocks, fool.
Deny to speak with me? They're sick. They're weary. They've traveled all night. Mere fetches. The images of revolt and flying off. Fetch me a better answer.
My dear lord, you know the fiery quality of the Duke, how unremovable and fixed he is in his own course.
Vengeance, plague, death, confusion, fiery? What quality? Why, Gloucester, I'll speak with the Duke of Cornwall and his wife.
Well, my good lord, I have informed them so.
Informed them? Dost thou understand me, man?
Aye, my good lord.
The king would speak with Cornwall. The dear father would with his daughter speak, commands her service. Are they informed of this? By breath and blood. Fiery, the Duke fiery? Tell the hot Duke that... No. But not yet. Maybe he is not well. Infirm that he does. Still neglect all office, wherefore our help is bound. We are not ourselves. But nature, being oppressed, commands the mind to suffer with the body. I'll forbear. And I'm fallen out with my more headier will to take the indisposed and sickly fit for the sound man. Death on my state! Wherefore should he sit here? This act persuades me that this remotion of the Duke and her practice is practice only. Give me my servant forth. Go tell the Duke and his wife I'll speak with them. Now, presently, bid them come forth and hear me. Go at thy chamber door. I'll beat the drum till sleep cries death.
I would have all well twixt you.
Oh, my rising heart, but down.
Cried to an uncle as the cockney did to the eels when she put him in the paste alive. She napped him on the coxcombs with a stick and cried, "Down, wantons, down!" 'Twas her brother that, in pure kindness to his horse, buttered his hay.
Good morrow to you both.
Hail to your grace.
I'm glad to see your highness.
Regan Hyde. I think you are. I know what reason I have to think so. If thou shouldst not be glad, I would divorce me from thy mother's tomb, sepulchring an adulteress. You are free. Some other time for that. Beloved Regan, thy sister's not. Oh, Regan, she has tied sharp-toothed unkindness like a vulture here. I can scarce speak with her. I'll not believe with how depraved a quality. Oh, Regan.
I pray you, sir, take patience. I hope you less know how to value her desert than she to scant her duty.
Say, how's that?
I cannot think my sister in the least would fail her obligation. If, sir, perchance, she have restrained the riots of your followers, 'tis on such ground and to such wholesome end as clears her from all blame.
My curse is on her.
Oh, sir, you are old. Nature in you stands on the very verge of her confine. You should be ruled and led by some discretion that discerns your state better than you yourself. Therefore, I pray you that to our sister you do make return. Say you have wronged her, sir.
Ask her for forgiveness? Do you but mark how this becomes the house? Oh, dear daughter, I confess that I am old. Age is unnecessary. On my knees, I beg you that you vouchsafe me raiment, bed, and food.
Good sir, no more. These are unsightly tricks. Return you to my sister.
Never, Regan. She hath abated me of half my train. Looked black upon me. Struck me with her tongue, most serpent-like. Upon the very heart, all the stored vengeance of heaven fall on her ingrateful top. Strike her young bones, you taking as with lameness.
Fie, sir, fie.
Yeah, you nimble lightnings, dart your blinding flames into her scornful eyes. Infect her beauty. You fen-sucked fogs, drawn by the powerful sun to fall and blast her pride.
Oh, the blessed gods. So will you wish on me when the rash mood is on.
No. Regan, thou shalt never have my curse. Thy tender-hefted nature shall not give thee o'er to harshness. Her eyes are fierce, but thine do comfort and not burn. 'Tis not in thee to grudge my pleasures, to cut off my train, to bandy hasty words, to scat my sizes, and in conclusion to oppose the bolt against my coming in. Thou better knowest the offices of nature. Bond of childhood, effects of courtesy, dues of gratitude. I have for the kingdom thou hast not forgot, wherein I be endowed.
Good sir, to the purpose.
Who put my men in the stocks?
What trumpet's that?
I know it. My sister's. This approves her letter that she would soon be here. Is your lady come?
Ah! This is the slave who easy borrowed pride dwells in the fickle grace of her. He follows. Out, varlet! Out of my sight!
What means your grace?
Who stuck my servant? Regan, I have good hope thou didst not know of it. Who comes? Oh, heavens. If thou dost love old men, if your sweet sway allowed obedience, if yourselves are old, make it your cause. Send down and take my part. Art thou not ashamed to look upon this beard? Oh, Regan, wilt thou take her hand? Why not by the hand, sir?
Why not by the hand, sir? How have I offended? All's not offence that indiscretion finds, and dotage turn so.
Thou sides! You are too rough. Will you yet hold? How come my man in the stocks?
Set him there, sir, but his own disorders deserve much less advancement.
You? Did you?
I pray you, father, being weak seems so. If till the expiration of your month you will return to sojourn with my sister, dismissing half your train, come then to me. I am now from home, and out of that provision which shall be needful for your entertainment.
Return to her. With 50 men dismissed. No, I'd rather abjure all roofs and choose to wage against the enmity of the air, to be a comrade with the wolf and the owl. Necessity's sharp pinch. Return with her. Why, the hot-blooded France, the dowerless, took our youngest born. I could as well be brought to knee his throne, and squire-like pension beg to keep base life afoot. Return with her. Persuade me rather to be a slave and sumpter to this detested groom.
At your choice, sir.
I prithee, brother, do not make me mad. I will not trouble thee, my child. Farewell. We'll no more meet, no more see one another. But yet thou art my flesh, my blood, my daughter, or rather my disease that's in my flesh, which I must needs call mine. Thou art a boil, a plague sore, an embossed carbuncle. In my corrupted blood, but I'll not chide with thee. Let shame come when it will, I will not call it. I do not bid the thunder-bearer shoot, nor tell tales of thee to high-judging Jove. Then when thou canst be better at thy leisure, I can be patient. I can stay with Regan and my 100 knights.
Not altogether so. I looked not for you yet, nor am provided for your fit welcome. Give ear, sir, to my sister. For those that mingle reason with your passion must be content to think you old, and so, but she knows what she does.
Is this well spoken?
I dare vouch it, sir. What, 50 followers? Is it not well? What should you need of more? Yea, or so many with that both charge and danger speak against so great a number. How in one house should so many people under two commands hold amity? 'Tis hard, almost impossible.
Why might not you, my lord, receive attendance from those that she calls servants, or from mine?
Why not, my lord? If then they chance to slack you, we could control them. If you will come to me, for now I spy a danger, I entreat you to bring but 25. To no more will I give plate or notice.
I gave you all.
And in good time you
made you
it.
my guardians and my dispositaries, but kept a reservation to be followed with such a number. What? Must I come to you with 25, Regan? Say it's not so.
And speak it again, my lord, no more with me.
Those wicked creatures yet do look well favored, when others are more wicked, not being the worst, stands in some rank of praise. I'll go with thee. Thy 50 yet doth double 25. Thou art twice her love.
Hear me, my lord. What needs you 25? 10 or 5? To follow in a house where twice so many have a command to tend you.
What need 1?
Oh, reason not the need. Our basest beggars are in the poorest things superfluous. Allow not nature more than nature needs. Man's life's as cheap as beasts. Thou art a lady, if only to go warm were gorgeous. Why nature needs not what gorgeous wearest, which scarcely keeps thee warm, but what true need. You heavens, give me that patience I need. You see me here, you gods, a poor old man as full of grief as age, wretched in both. If it be you that stirs these daughters' hearts against their father, not so much to bear it tamely, touch me with noble anger, and let not woman's weapons, water drops, stain my man's cheeks. No, you unnatural hags, I will have such revenges on you both that all the world shall, and I will do such things. What they are, I yet not know, but they shall be the terrors of the earth. You think I'll weep? No, I'll not weep. I have full cause of weeping, but this heart shall break into 100,000 flaws, or ere I'll weep. Oh, I shall go mad.
Let us withdraw. 'Twill be a storm.
This house is little. The old man and his people cannot be well bestowed.
'Tis his own blame. Hath put himself from rest and must needs taste his folly.
For his particular, I'll receive him gladly, but not one follower.
So am I purposed. Where is my lord of Gloucester?
Follow the old man forth. He's returned.
The king is in high rage.
Whither is he going?
He calls to horse, but will not know whither.
'Tis best to give him way. He leads himself.
My lord, entreat him by no means to stay.
Alack, the night comes on. The bleak winds do sorely ruffle, and for many a mile about there's scarce a bush.
Oh, sir, to willful men, the injuries that they themselves procure must be their schoolmasters. Shut up your doors. He is attended with a desperate train, and what they may incense him to, being apt to have an ear abused, wisdom makes it fear.
Shut up your doors, my lord. It's a wild night. My Regan counsels well. Come out of the storm.
Blow, winds, and crack your cheeks. Rage blow, you cataracts and hurricanes. Spout till you have drenched the steeples and drowned the cocks, you sulphurous and thought-executing fires. Want couriers to oak-cleaving thunderbolts, singe my white beard. Thou, all shaking thunder, smite flat the thick rotundity of the world. Crack nature's molds, all Germans, spill it once that make ingrateful man.
Oh, Nuncle, pour holy water in a dry house is better than this rainwater out of door. Nuncle, in and ask thy daughter's blessing. Here's a knight pities neither wise man nor a fool.
Rumble thy bellyful, spit fire, rain, no wind, no thunder. Fire are my daughters. I tax you not, you elements, with unkindness. I never gave you kingdom, called you children. You owe me no subscriptions. Then let it fall, your horrible pleasure. Here I stand, your slave, a poor, infirm, weak, and despised old man. But yet I call you servile ministers that have with 2 pernicious daughters joined your high-engendered battles against a head so old and white as this. 'Tis foul, 'tis foul.
He that has a house to put head in has a good headpiece. The codpiece that will house before the head has any. The head and he shall louse, so beggars marry many. The man that makes his toe what he his heart should make shall of a corn cry woe and turn his sleep to wake. For there was never yet fair woman, but she made mouths in a glass.
No, I will be the pattern of all patience. I will say nothing. Who's there?
Marry, here's Grace and a codpiece. That's a wise man and a fool.
Alas, sir, you are here. Things that love night love not such nights as these. The wrathful skies gowl the very wanderers of the dark to make them keep their caves. Since I was man, such sheets of fire, such bursts of horrid thunder, such throes of roaring wind and rain, I never remember to have heard. Man's nature cannot carry the affliction nor the fear.
Let the great gods that keep this dreadful power over our heads find out their enemies now. Tremble, thou wretch. Thou hast within undivulged crimes, unwhipped of justice. Hide thee, thou bloody hand, thou perjured and thou simular man of virtue, that art incestuous, taketh to pieces shape, that under covert and convenient seeming hast practiced on man's life. Close pent-up guilt, writhe your concealing countenance and cry these dreadful summoners' grace. I am a man more sinned against than sinning.
Alack, bareheaded, gracious my lord, hard by thee is a hovel. Some friendship will lend you against the storm. Repose you there, while I into this hard house, more harder than the stones whereof is raised, which even but now, demanding after you, denied me to come in, returned and forced their scanted courtesy.
But my wits begin to turn. Come, my boy. How dost my boy? Art cold? I am cold myself. Where is this straw, my fellow? The art of our necessities is strange, that canst make vile things precious. Come, your hovel. Poor fool and knave, I have one part in my heart that's sorry for thee yet.
He that has in a tiny little wit, with hey-ho, the wind and the rain, must make content with his fortune fit, for the rain it raineth every day.
True, my good boy. Come, bring us to this hovel. Come.
This is the brave knight, the cool, the courtesan. I'll speak a prophecy ere I go. When priests are more in word than matter, when brewers mar their malt with water, when nobles are their tailors' tutors, no heretics burn, but wenches' suitors, when every case in law is right, no squire in debt, nor no poor knight, when slanders do not live in tongues, nor cutpurses come not with wrongs, when usurers sell their gold in the field, and bawds and whores do churches build, then shall the realm of Albion come to great confusion. Then comes the time, who lives to see it, that going shall be used with feet. This prophecy Merlin shall make, for I lived before his time.
Alack, Edmund, I not like this unnatural dealing. When I desired their leave that I might pity him, the king, they took from me the use of mine own house, charged me on pain of their perpetual displeasure, neither to speak of him, entreat for him, nor in any way sustain him.
Most savage and unnatural.
Go to, say you nothing. There's a division twixt the dukes, and a worse matter than that. I have received a letter this night. 'Tis dangerous to be spoken. I have locked the letter in my closet. These injuries the king now bears will be revenged home. There is a part of the power already footed. We must incline to the king. I will seek him and privily relieve him. Go you and maintain talk with the duke, that my charity be not by him perceived. If he asks for me, I am ill, and I'm got to bed, though I die for it, as no less is threatened me. The king, my old master, must be relieved. There is some strange thing toward Edmund. Pray you, be careful.
This courtesy forbid thee, shall the duke instantly know, and of that letter too. This seems a fair deserving, and must draw me that which my father loses, no less than all. The younger rises when the old doth fall.
Here's the place, my lord. Good my lord, enter. The tyranny of the open night's too rough for nature to endure.
Let me alone.
Good my lord, enter here.
Will break my heart.
I'd rather break mine own. Good my lord, enter.
Think'st thou too much that this contentious storm invades us to the skin? So it is to thee. But where the greater malady is fixed, the lesser is scarce felt. Shouldst shun a bear? But if thy flight lay towards the raging sea, shouldst meet the bear in the mouth. When the mind's free, the body's delicate. The tempest in my mind doth from my senses take all feeling else, save what beats there. Filial ingratitude. Is it not as this mouth should feed this hand for lifting food to it? But I will punish home. I will weep no more. In such a night to shut me out. Pour on! I will endure. In such a night as this. Oh, Regan, Goneril, your kind old father, whose frank heart gave you all. Oh, that way madness lies. Let me shun that, no more of that.
Good my lord, enter here.
Prithee, go in thyself. Seek thine own ease. This tempest will not give me leave to ponder on things would hurt me more. But I'll go in. But in, boy. Go first. You houseless poverty. Nay, get thee in. I'll pray. And then I'll weep. Sleep. Poor, naked wretches. Wheresoe'er you are, that bide the pelting of this pitiless storm, how shall your houseless heads and unfed sides, your looped and windowed raggedness defend you from seasons such as this? I have taken too little care of these. take physic, pump, expose thyself to feel what wretches feel, that thou mayst shape the superflux to them and show the heavens more just.
Fathom and half, a poor Tom! Oh, come in, come not in here, uncle. There's a spirit, help me.
Who's there?
The spirit, he says his name's Tom, poor Tom.
What art thou that does grumble in the straw? Come forth.
Away! The foul fiend doth follow me. Through the sharp hawthorn blows the cold wind. Go to thy cold bed and warm thee.
Hast thou given all to thy 2 daughters? Art thou come to this?
Who gives poor Tom anything? Whom the foul fiend hath led through fire, through flame, through ford and wood, pool, or bog and quagmire, that hath laid knives under his pillow and halters in his pew, set ratsbane by his porch, and made him proud of heart to ride on a bay-trotting horse over 4 inches bridge, to course his known shadow for a traitor. Bless thy 5 wits! Tom's cold. Oh, bless thee from the 4 winds, star blasting and taking to poor Tom charity, whom the foul fiend vexes. There could I have him now, and there again!
Have his daughters brought him to this pass? Couldst thou say nothing? Didst thou give him all?
Nay, he reserved the blanket, else we had all be shamed.
Now, all the plagues that in this pendulous air hang fated o'er men's heads, light on thy daughters.
He hath no daughters, sir.
Death, traitor! Nothing could have subdued nature to such a lowness but his unkind daughters. Is it the fashion that discarded fathers should have thus little mercy on their flesh? Judicious punishment! 'Twas this flesh begot those pelican daughters.
Pillycock, sad on Pillycock Hill. Halloo, halloo, halloo. This cold night will turn us all to fools and madmen. Take heed. Oh, the foul fiend, obey thy parents. Keep thy word justly. Swear not. Commit not with man's sworn spouse. Set not thy sweetheart on proud array. Tom's cold.
What hast thou been?
A serving man, proud in heart and mind, that curled my hair, wore gloves in my cap, served the lust of my mistress's heart, and did the act of darkness with her, swore as many oaths as I spake words, and broke them in the sweet face of heaven. One that slept in the contriving of lust, and waked to do it. Wine loved I deeply, dice dearly, and woman out paramored the Turk. False of heart, light of ear, bloody of hand, hog and sloth, fox and stealth, wolf and greediness, dog and madness, lion and prey. Let not the creaking of shoes, nor the rustling of silks betray that poor heart to woman. Keep thy foot out of brothels, thy hand out of plackets, thy pen from lenders' books, and defy the foul fiend. Still, through the hawthorn blows the cold wind, says hum num, ha no nani. Dolphin, my boy, Sessa, let him trot by.
Why, thou wert better in thy grave than to answer with thy uncovered body this extremity of the skies. Is man no more than this? Consider him well. Thou owest the worm no silk, the beast no hide, the sheep no wool, the cat no perfume. There's 3 of us are sophisticated. Thou art the thing itself. Unaccommodated man is no more, but such a poor, bare, forked animal as thou art. Off thy lendings, off! Come, unbutton me here.
Really, uncle, be contented. 'Tis a naughty night to swim in. Now a little fire in a wild field were like an old lecher's heart. A small spark, all the rest on one's body's cold. Look, here comes a walking fire.
Who's there? Who is it you seek?
What are you there? Your names?
Poor Tom, that eats the swimming frog, the toad, and the tadpole, and the walnut and the water. That in the fury of his heart, when the foul fiend rages, eats cow dung for salads. Swallows the old rat and the ditch dog, drinks the green mantle of the standing pool, who is whipped from tithing to tithing and stock punished and imprisoned, who hath had 3 suits to his back, 6 shirts to his body, horse to ride, and weapon to wear. But mice and rats and such small deer have been Tom's food for 7 long years. Beware, my follower. Peace, smoking. Peace, thou fiend!
What? Has your grace no better company?
The Prince of Darkness is a gentleman. Modo he's called, and Mahu.
Our flesh and blood is grown so vile, my lord, that it doth hide what it gets.
Poor Tom's a cold.
Go in with me. My duty cannot suffer to obey in all your daughter's heart commands, though their injunction be to bar my doors and let this tyrannous night take hold upon you. Yet have I ventured to come to seek you out and bring you where both fire and food is ready.
First, let me talk to this philosopher. What is the cause of thunder?
My lord, take his offer. Go into his home.
I'll talk a word with this same learned Theban. What is your study?
How to prevent the fiend and to kill vermin.
Let me ask you one more word in private.
They importuned him once more to go, my lord. His wits began to unsettle.
Canst thou blame him? His daughters seek his death? Ah, that good Kent. He said it would be thus, poor banished man. Thou sayest the king grows mad. I tell thee, friend, I am almost mad myself. I had a son, now outlawed from my blood. He sought my life. But lately, very late, I loved him, friend. No father, his son dear. Truth to tell thee, the grief has crazed my wits. What a night this is. I do beseech your grace.
Oh, cry you mercy, sir. Noble philosopher, your company.
Tom's a cold.
In, fellow, there, into the house. You're going to keep thee warm.
Come, let's all in.
This way, my lord.
With him, I will keep still with my philosopher.
Oh, good, my lord. Soothe him. Let him take the fellow.
Take you him on.
Sirrah, come on along. Come on. Come with us.
Come, good Athenian.
No words, no words.
Child Roland into the dark tower came. His word was still fee fi fo fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman.
Here is better than the open air. Take it thankfully. I will piece you out the comfort with what addition I can. I will not be long from you.
All the power of his wits had given way to his impatience. The gods reward your kindness.
Frateretto calls me and tells me Nero is an angler in the lake of darkness. Pray, innocent, and beware the foul fiend.
Prithee, uncle, tell me whether a madman be a gentleman or a yeoman?
A king.
No, he's a yeoman that has a gentleman to his son, for he's a mad yeoman that sees his son a gentleman before him.
To have 1,000 with red burning spits come hissing in upon those two.
The foul fiend bites my back.
He's mad that trusts in the tameness of a wolf, a horse's help, a boy's love, or a whore's oath.
Shall be done. I will arraign them straight. Come, sit you there, most learned justicer, and thou, sapient sir, sit there. Now, the she-foxes.
Look, where he stands and glares. Wantest thou eyes a trial, madam?
Come o'er the burn, Bessie, to me. Her boat hath a leak, and she must not speak. Why she dares not come over to thee?
The foul fiend haunts poor Tom in the voice of a nightingale. Hot dance cries in Tom's belly for 2 white herring. Croak not, black angel, I have no food for thee.
How do you do, sir? You stand not so amazed. Will you lie down and rest upon the cushions?
I'll see their trial first. Bring in the evidence. Thou, robed man of justice, take thy place. And thou, his yokefellow of equity, bench by his side. You are of the commission. Sit you too.
Let us deal justly.
Ah.
Purr, the cat is gray.
Arraign her first, 'tis Goneril. I here take my oath before this honorable assembly. She kicked the poor king, her father.
Come hither, mistress. Is your name Goneril?
She cannot deny it.
Cry you mercy. I took you for a joint stool.
Ah, and there's the other, whose warped looks proclaim what store her heart is made on. Stop her! Stop her! Arms! Arms! Sword flat! Corruption in this place! False justice, sir! What hast thou let her escape?
Bless thy 5 wits. Oh, pity, sir. Where is your patience now that you so often boasted to retain? My tears begin to take his part much. They'll mar my counterfeiting.
The little dogs, Tray, Blanche, and Sweetheart. See, they bark at me.
Tom will throw his head at them. What? Avast you! Avaunt you, curse! Don't it eat to these, I say. Come, watch it makes and fares in market town. Poor Tom, the horn is dry.
And let them anatomize Reagan. See what breeds about her heart. Is there any cause in nature that makes these hard hearts? You, sir, I entertain for one of my 100, only I do not like the fashion of your garments. You will say they are Persian. Get them changed.
Good, my lord. Lie here and rest.
Make no noise. Make no noise. Draw the curtains. So.
Come hither, friend. Where is the king, my master?
Here, sir, but trouble him not, his wits are gone.
Good friend, I prithee, take him in thine arms. I have overheard a plot of death upon him. There is a litter ready, lay him on it, and drive toward Dover, friend, where thou shalt meet both welcome and protection. Take up thy master, if thou should dally half an hour. His life, with thine and all that offer to defend him, stand in assured loss. Take up, and follow me, that I will give some provisions for your quick conduct.
Oppressed nature sleeps. This rest might have eased thy balm and thy broken sinews, which a convenience will not allow stand in hard cure. Come, full, help. Here.
Come, away.
Thou mustn't speak.
Post speedily to my lord your husband, show him this letter. The army of France has landed. Seek out the traitor Gloucester.
Hang him instantly.
Pluck out his eyes.
Leave him to my displeasure. Edmund, keep you our sister company. The revenges we are bound to take upon your traitorous father are not fit for your beholding. Advise the Duke where you are going to a most festinate preparation. We are bound to the like. Our post shall be swift and intelligent betwixt us. Farewell, dear sister. Farewell, my lord of Gloucester. How now? Where's the king?
And my lord of Gloucester hath conveyed him hence some 5 or 6 and 30 of his knights. Hot questions after him, met him at gate, who with some other of the lord's dependents are gone with him toward Dover, where they boast to have well-armed friends.
Get horses for your mistress.
Farewell, sweet lord and sister.
Edmund, farewell. Go seek the traitor Gloucester. Pinion him like a thief. Bring him before us. Though well we may not pass upon his life. without the form of justice. Yet our power shall do a courtesy to our wrath, which men may blame but not control. Who's there? The traitor?
Ingrateful bust is he.
Bind fast his corky arms.
What mean your graces? Good my friends, consider that you are my guests. Do me no foul play, my friends.
Bind him, I say.
Hard, O filthy traitor.
Oh, unmerciful lady, as you are, I am none.
To this chair bind him. Villain, thou shalt find.
Naughty lady, these hairs which thou dost ravish from my chin will quicken and accuse thee. I am your host. With robber's hands, my hospitable favors, you should not ruffle thus. What will you do?
Come, sir. What letters had you late from France?
Be simple, answerer, for we know the truth.
And what confederacy have you with the traitors late-footed in the kingdom?
To whose hands have you sent the lunatic king? Speak!
I have a letter, guessingly set down, which came from one that's of a neutral heart, not from one opposed.
Cunning.
And false.
Where hast thou sent the king?
To Dover?
Wherefore to Dover? Wast thou not charged at peril?
Wherefore to Dover? Let him first answer that.
I am tied to the stake and I must stand the course.
Wherefore to Dover, sir?
Because I would not see thy cruel nails pluck out his poor eyes, nor thy fair sister in his anointed flesh-stick boorish fangs. The sea with such a storm as his bare head in hell black night endured would have buoyed up and quenched the stout fires. Yet poor old heart, he helped the heavens rain. If wolves had at thy gate howled that stern time, thou should have said, good porter, turn the key. All cruels else ascribe. But I shall see the winged vengeance overtake such children.
Thou shalt never. Fellows, hold the chair. Upon these eyes of thine, I'll set my foot.
He that thinks to lift to him, oh, cruel, oh, ye gods.
One side will mock another, the other too.
If you seek vengeance.
Hold your hand, my lord. I have served you faithfully since I was a child, but better service have I never done you than now to have you hold your hand.
How now, you dog?
If you did but wear a beard on your face, I'd pull it on this quarrel. What do you mean?
My villain?
Hey. All right. Nay, then, come on. Take the chance of anger. Down.
Give me that sword. A peasant, stand up.
Oh! Oh! I am slain. Oh, my lord, you have one eye left. You see some mischief on me.
Let us see more, prevent it. Thou vile children!
Oh, dark and comfortless. Oh, where is my son Edmund? Enkindle out the sparks of nature to quit this heart attack.
Out, treacherous villain! Thou callest on him that hates thee! It was he that made the overture of thy treason to us. Who is too good to pity thee?
Oh, my follies, but Edgar was abused. Gods, forgive me that and prosper him.
Go, thrust him out of gates, and let him smell his way to Dover. How is my lord? How of you?
I have received a hurt, fellow. Follow me, lady. Turn out that eyeless villain! Throw this slave upon the dunghill. Regan, I bleed apace. Untimely comes its hurt. Me your arm.
I'll never care what wickedness I do if this man comes to good.
If she live long, and in the end meet the old course of death, women will all turn to monsters.
Let's follow the old Earl and get the Bedlam to lead him where he would. His roguish madness allows himself to anything.
Go thou. I'll fetch some blacks and whites of eggs and apply them to his bleeding face. Now heaven.
Yet better thus, and known to be contemned, than still contemned and flattered. To be worst, the lowest and most dejected thing of fortune, stands still in esperance, lives not in fear. The lamentable change is from the best. The worst returns to laughter. Welcome then, thus unsubstantial air that I embrace. Thou wretch that thou hast blown unto the worst owes nothing to the blasts. But who comes here? My father, poorly led. World, oh world! But thy strange mutations make us hate thee. Life will not yield to age.
Oh, my good lord, I have been your tenant and your father's tenant for 80 years.
Away, get thee away, good friend, be gone. Thy comforts can do me no good at all. Thee they may hurt.
Alack, sir, you cannot see your way.
I have no way, and therefore want no eyes. I stumbled when I saw. Full oft it is seen our means to cure us, and our mere defects prove our commodities. Ah, dear son Edgar, the food of thy abused father's wrath. Might I but live to see thee in my touch, I'd say I had eyes again.
How now? Who's there?
Oh, gods, who is it that can say I am the worst? So long as he can say this is the worst.
It's his poor mad Tom.
And worse I may still yet be. The worst is not so long as we can say this is the worst.
Hello, where goest?
Is it a beggar man?
Madman and beggar too.
Well, he has some reason, else he could not beg. In the last night's storm I such a fellow saw, which made me think a man a worm. My son came then into my mind, and yet my mind was then scarce friends with him. I have heard more since. As flies to wanton boys are we to the gods. They kill us for their sport.
How should this be? Bad is the trade that must play the fool to sorrow, angering itself in others. Bless thee, master! Angering itself in others.
Is that the naked fellow?
Aye, my lord.
Then prithee get thee gone. For if my sake thou wilt overtake us hence a mile or twain on the way to Dover, do it for ancient love, and bring some covering for this naked soul, who I'll entreat to lead me.
Alack, sir, he is mad.
'Tis the time's plague when madmen lead the blind. Do as I bid thee, or rather do thy pleasure, above the rest be gone.
I'll bring him the best peril that I have. Come on it what will.
Sir, naked fellow.
Poor Tom's cold. I cannot dog it further.
Come hither, fellow.
Yet I must. Bless these sweet eyes, they bleed.
Knowest thou the way to Dover?
Ah, both stile and gate, horseway and footpath. Poor Tom hath been scared out of his good wits. Bless thee, good man's son, from the foul fiend. 5 fiends have been in poor Tom's at once, of lust, as Obidicut, Obidibence, Prince of Dumbness, Mahu of stealing, Modo of murder, Flibbered Gidget of mopping and mowing, who since possesses chambermaids and waiting women. So bless thee, master.
Here, take this purse, thou whom the heavens' plagues have humbled to all strokes. That I'm wretched makes thee happier. Heavens, deal so still. Let the superfluous and lust-dyed man that slaves your ordinance, that will not see because he does not feel your power quickly. So distribution should undo excess, and each man have enough. Dost thou know Dover?
Aye, master.
There is a cliff whose high and bending head looks fearfully in the confined deep. Bring me but to the very brim of it, and I'll repair the misery thou dost bear with something rich about me. From that place I shall know leading need.
Give me thy arm. Poor Tom shall lead thee.
Well, Welcome, my lord. I marvel our mild husband not best on the way. Now, where's your master?
Madam, within, but never a man so changed. I told him your army had landed, and he smiled at it. I told him you were coming. His answer was the worst. If Gloucester's treachery and of the loyal service of his son when I informed him, then he called me soft and told me that I had turned the wrong side out. What most he should dislike pleases him. What like offensive.
Then shall you go no further. It is the coward's terror of the spirits that dares not undertake. He'll not feel wrongs which tie him to an answer. Our wishes on the way may prove effects. Back, Edmund, to my brother. Hasten his musters, and conduct his palace. I must change arms at home and give this distaff into my husband's hands. This trusty servant shall pass between us. Ere long you are like to hear, if you dare venture in your own behalf, a mistress's command. Wear this. Spare speech. Decline your head. This kiss, just its beak, would stretch thy spirits up into the air. Conceive, and fare thee well.
Yours in the ranks of death.
My most dear Gloucester. Oh, the difference of man and man. To thee a woman's services are due. My fool usurps my body.
Madam, here comes my lord.
It had been worth the whistle.
Oh, Goneril, you are not worth the dust which the rude wind blows in your face. I fear your disposition. That nature which contemns its origin cannot be bordered certain in itself. She that herself will sliver and disbranch from her material sap, perforce must wither and come to deadly use.
No more. The text is foolish.
Wisdom and goodness to the vile seem vile, filth savor but themselves. What have you done? Tigers, not daughters. What have you performed? Father, and a gracious aged man whose reverence even the head-lugged bear would lick. Most barbarous, most degenerate, have you madded? Could my good brother suffer you to do it? A man, a prince by him so benefited? If that the heavens do not their visible spirits send quickly down to tame these vile offences, it will come. Humanity must perforce prey on itself like monsters of the deep.
Oh, milk-livered man. What bearst a cheek for blows, a head for wrongs? Who has not in thy brows an eye discerning thine honour from thy suffering, that not most fools do those villains pity who are punished ere they have done their mischief? Where's thy drum? France spreads his banners in our noiseless land with plumed helm. Thy state began to threat whilst thou, a moral fool, sit still and cries, alack, why does he so?
See thyself, devil. Proper deformity seems not in the fiend so horrid as in woman.
Oh, vain fool!
Thou changed and self-covered thing for shame. Be monster not thy feature. Where's my fitness to let these hands obey my blood? They are apt enough to dislocate and tear thy flesh and bones. However, thou art a fiend, a woman's shape doth shield thee.
Marry your manhood. No!
What news?
Oh, my lord, my good lord, the Duke of Cornwall is dead, slain by his servant, going to put out the other eye of Gloucester.
Gloucester's eyes?
A servant that he bred, thrilled with remorse, opposed against the act, bending his sword to the great master, who thereat rage flew on him, and amongst them felled him dead, but not without the harmful stroke which thence hath plucked him afar.
Ah, this shows you are above, you justices, that these are never crimes so speedily can venge. But, oh, poor Gloucester. Lost he the other eye?
Both, my lord. This letter, madame, it craves a speedy answer. 'Tis from your sister.
One way I like this well, but being widow and my Gloucester with her, may all the building in my fancy grow upon my hateful life. Another way, the news is not so tart. I'll read an answer.
Where was his son when he did take his eyes?
Come with my lady hither.
He is not here.
No, my good lord, I met him back again.
Knows he the wickedness?
Aye, my good lord. 'Twas he who informed against him, and quit the house on purpose that their punishment might have the freer course.
Gloucester, I live to thank thee for the love thou showest the king, and to revenge thine eyes. Come hither, friend. Tell me more what more thou knowest.
All my brother's powers set forth,
Aye, madam.
himself in person there.
Madam, with much ado, your sister is the better soldier.
Lord Edmund spake not with your lord at home.
No, madam.
What might import my sister's letter to him?
I know not, lady.
Faith, he is posted hence on serious matter. It was great ignorance, Gloucester's eyes being out to let him live. Where he arrives, he moves all hearts against us. Edmund, I think, is gone in pity of his misery, to dispatch his native life. Moreover, to descry the strength of thy enemy.
I must needs after him, madam, with my letter.
Our troops set forth tomorrow. Stay with us. The ways are dangerous.
I may not, madam. My lady charged my duty in this business.
Why should she write to Edmund? Might not you transport her purposes by word? Be like something, I know not what. I'll love thee much. Let me unseal thy letter.
Madam, I'd rather not.
I know your lady does not love her husband. I am sure of that. And her late being here, she gave strange oliades and most speaking looks to noble Edmund. I know you love her bosom.
I, madam?
I speak in understanding. You are, I know it. Therefore, I do advise you, take this note. My lord is dead. Edmund and I have talked. And more convenient is he for my hand than for your lady's. You may gather more. If you do find him, pray you give him this. And when your mistress hears thus much from you, I pray, desire her call her wisdom to her. So fare you well. If you do chance to hear of that blind traitor, perfidy falls on him that cuts him off.
Would that I could meet him, madam. I should show him what party I do fall.
Fare thee well.
When shall we come to the top of that same hill?
How do you do climbing up it now? Look how we labor.
Methinks the ground is even.
Horrible steep. Hark! Do you hear the sea?
No, truly.
Why then the other senses grow imperfect by your eyes' deficiency.
So may it be indeed. Methinks thy voice is altered, and thou speakest in better phrase and matter than thou didst.
You're much deceived. In nothing am I changed, but in my garments.
Methinks you're better spoken.
Come on, sir. Here's a place. Stand still. How fearful and dizzy it is to cast one's eye so low. The crows and choughs that wing the midway air show scarce so gross as beetles. Halfway down hangs one that gathers sapphire. Dreadful tree. Methinks he seems no bigger than his head. The fishermen that walk upon the beach appear like mice, and yon tall anchoring bark, diminished to her cock a buoy almost too far for sight. The murmuring surge that on the unnumbered idle pebbles chafes cannot be heard so high. I'll look no more. It's lest my brain turn and deficient sight topple down headlong.
Set me where you stand.
Give me your hand. You are now within a foot of the extreme verge, for all beneath the moon would I not leap over upright.
Let go my hand. Here, friends, another purse. In it a jewel, well worth a poor man's taking. Fairies and gods prosper it with thee. Go thee further off. Bid me farewell, and let me hear thee going.
And now, fare you well, good sir.
With all my heart.
Why I do trifle thus with his despair is done to cure it.
Oh, you mighty gods, this world I do renounce, and in your sight shake patiently my great affliction off. If I could bear it longer and not fall to quarrel with your great opposeless will, my snuff and low part of nature should burn itself out. If Edgar lives, oh, bless him. Now, fellow, fare thee well.
Ho, you sir, friend! Help you, sir, speak! Thus might he pass indeed, yet he revives. What are you, sir?
Away, let me die.
Hadst thou been aught but gossamer feathers ere so many fathom down precipitating, thou shivered like an egg, but thou dost breathe. Hast heavy substance, bleeds not, speakest, art sound. 10 masts at each make not the altitude which thou hast perpendicularly fell. Thy life's a miracle, speak yet again.
But have I fallen?
From the dread summit of this chalky bourne. Look up at a height, the shrill gorged lark so far cannot be seen or heard, but do look up.
Alack, I have no eyes. Is wretchedness deprived that benefit to end itself by death? 'Twas yet some comfort when misery could beguile the tyrant's rage and frustrate his proud will.
Give me your arm. Up, so. How's it? Feel your legs? You stand.
Oh, too well.
This is above all strangeness. Upon the crown of the cliff, what thing was that which parted from you?
A poor, unfortunate beggar.
As I stood here below, methought his eyes were 2 full moons. He had 1,000 noses, horns whelped and waved like the enraged sea. It was some fiend. Therefore, thou happy father, that thou, the clearest gods, who make them honors of men's impossibilities, you preserve thee.
I do remember now. Henceforth I'll bear affliction till it do cry itself out. Enough, and die. That thing you speak of, I took it for a man. Often it would say, the fiend. He led me to that place.
Bear free and patient thoughts. But who comes here? Their safer sense will ne'er accommodate his master thus.
What?
No, they cannot touch me for coining. I am the king himself.
Oh, thou sight-piercing sight!
Nature's above art in that respect. Here's your press money. That fellow handles his bow like a crow keeper. Draw me a clothes yard. Look. A mouse. Peace. This piece of toasted cheese will do it. There's my gauntlet. I'll prove it on a giant. Bring up the brown bills. Oh, well flown, bird. In the clout. Give me the word.
Sweet marjoram.
Pass.
I know that voice.
Goneril with a white beard. They flattered me like a dog and told me I had white hairs in my beard ere the black ones were there. To say aye and no to everything that I said. When the rain came to wet me once and the wind to make me chatter, when the thunder would not peace at my bidding, there I found them, and there I smelt them out. Go to, they are not men of their words. Told me I was everything. 'Tis a lie. I'm not ague-proof.
The trick of that voice I do well remember. Is it not the king?
Every inch a king. When I do stare, see how the subject quakes. I pardoned that man's life. What was the cause? Adultery? Thou shalt not die. Die for adultery? No. The wren goes to it, and the small gilded fly does lecture in my sight. Let copulation thrive. For Gloucester's bastard son was kinder to his father than my daughters got 'tween the lawful sheets. To it! Luxury! Pell-mell! For I lack soldiers. beyond yon simpering dame whose face between her forks presages snow, that minces virtue and does not shake the head to hear of pleasure's name, befit you. No, the soiled horse goes to it with a more riotous appetite. Down from the waist they are centers, but above all women. But to the girdle do the gods inherit. Beneath is all the fiends. There's hell, there's darkness, there's the sulphurous pit, ball, burning, scalding, stench and consumption. Fie, 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 pah, pah. Give me an ounce of civet. Good apothecary to sweeten my imagination. And there's money for it.
Oh, let me kiss that hand.
Let me wipe it first. It smells of mortality.
Oh, ruined piece of nature, this great world shall so wear out to naught. Dost thou know me?
I remember thine eyes well enough. Dost thou squinny at me? No. Do thy worst, blind Cupid. I'll not love. Read thou this challenge. Mark but the penning on it.
Were all the letters sons, I could not see one.
I would not take this from report. It is. My heart breaks at it.
Read.
What? With the case of eyes?
Oh, are you there with me? No eyes in your head, no money in your purse. Your eyes are in a heavy case, your purse a light. Yet you see how this world goes.
I see it feelingly.
Not mad. A man may see how this world goes with no eyes. Look with thine ears. See how yon justice rails upon yon simple thief? Hark, in thine ear. Change places and handy-dandy. Which is justice? Which is the thief? Thou hast seen a farmer's dog bark at a beggar?
Oh, aye, sir.
And the creature run from the cur? There mightest behold the great image of authority, a dog obeyed in office. A rascal beetle, hold that bloody hand. Why dost thou lash that whore? Stop thine own back. Thou hotly lustest to use her in that kind for which thou whippest her. The usurer hangs the cozener. Through tattered clothes small vices do appear. Robes and furred gowns hide all. Plate sin with gold, and the strong lance of justice hurtless breaks. Armed in rags, a pygmy straw doth pierce it. None does offend, none, I say none. I'll able them. Take that of me, my friend, who have the power to seal the accuser's lips. Get thee glass eyes, and like a scurvy politician, seem to see things that thou dost not.
Oh, matter and impertinency mixed, reason and madness.
If thou wilt weep my fortunes, take mine eyes. I know thee well enough. Thy name is Gloucester. Thou must be patient. We came crying hither. Thou knowest, the first time that we smell the air, we wail and cry. I will preach to thee. Mark.
Alack the day.
When we are born, we cry that we are come to such great stage of fools. This is a good block. It were a delicate stratagem to shoe a troop of horse with felt. I'll put it in proof. And when I've stolen upon these sons-in-laws, then kill.
Oh, here he is. Lay a hand upon him. Sir, your most dear daughter.
No rescue. What, a prisoner? I am even the natural fool of fortune. Use me well. You shall have ransom. Let me have a surgeon. I am cut to the brains.
You shall have anything.
No seconds, all myself. Why, this would make a man of salt to use his eyes for garden water pots and laying autumn dust.
Good sir.
I will die. bravely, like a smug bridegroom. Well, I will be jovial. Come. I am a king. My masters know you that.
You are a royal one, and we obey you.
Then there's life in it. Nay, and you get it, you shall get it by running.
Hail, gentle sir.
Sir, speed you, what's your will?
Do you hear aught, sir, of the battle toward?
Most sure and vulgar. Everyone hears that which can distinguish sound.
What's by your favor? How near is the other army?
Near and on speedy foot, the main descry stands on the hourly thought.
I thank you, sir, that's all.
Though that the queen on special cause is here, her army is moved in.
I thank you, sir.
You ever gentle gods, take my breath from me. Let not thy mercy spirit tempt me again to die before you, please.
Well pray of you, father.
Now, good sir, what are you?
A most poor man, made tame to fortune's blows, who by the art of known and feeling sorrows and pregnant to good pity. Give me your hand. I'll lead you to some bidding.
Hearty thanks. The bounty and the benison of heaven to boot. And boot.
A proclaimed prize. Most happy that eyeless head of thine is first framed flesh to raise my fortunes, thou old unhappy traitor. Briefly, thou shalt remember the sword is out that must destroy thee.
Now let thy friendly hand put strength to it.
Wherefore, bold peasant, darest thou support a published traitor? Hence, lest that the infection of his fortune take like hold on thee. Let go his arm.
Chill not let go, sir, without further accession.
Let go, slave, or thou diest.
Good gentlemen, go your gate and let poor folk pass. And should there have been zaggered out by life, do not have been so long as by fortnight. Nay, come not near, old man, keep out's chain obey, or I'll stay thee whether your customary by my follow, be the harder chill be paid with you.
Oh, dunghill.
Chill pick your teeth, sir, come no matter nor thy thorns.
Slave, thou hast slain me. Villain, take my purse. If ever thou wilt thrive, bury my body and give the letters to which thou findest about me to Edmund, Earl of Gloucester. Seek him out upon the British party. Untimely death.
I know thee well, serviceable villain, as duteous to the vices of thy mistress as badness would desire.
What? Is he dead?
Let's see these pockets. The letters that he speaks of may be my friends. He's dead. I am only sorry he had no other deathsman. Let us see. Leave gentle wax and manners, blame us not, to know our enemies' minds. We'll rip their hearts, their papers is more lawful. Let our reciprocal vows be remembered. You made many opportunities to cut him off. If your will want not, time and place will be fruitfully offered. There's nothing done. If he return the conqueror, then am I the prisoner, and his bed my jail. From the loathed warmth whereof deliver me, and supply the place of your labor. Your wife, so I would say, affectionate servant, Goneril. Oh, undistinguished space of woman's will! A plot upon her virtuous husband's life, and the exchange of my brother here in the sands. Thee I'll rake up, the host unsanctified of murderous leechers, and in the mature time with this ungracious paper strike the site of the death-practiced duke. For him 'tis well, that of thy death and business I can tell.
The king is mad, and how stiff is my vile sense that I stand up and have ingenious feelings of my huge sorrows. Better I were distracted, so should my thoughts be centered for my griefs, and woes by wrong imagination lose the knowledge of themselves.
Give me your hand. Far off, methinks, I hear the beaten drums. Come, father, I'll bestow you with a friend.
thou good Kent, how shall I live and work to match thy goodness? My life will be too short and every measure fail me.
To be acknowledged, madam, is o'erpaid. All my reports go with modest truth. No more nor clipped but so.
Better suited. These weeds are memories of those worser hours. I prithee, put them off.
Pardon me, dear madam. Yet to be known shortens my made intent. My boon I make it that you know me not till time and I think me.
And be it so, my good lord. How does the king?
Madam, sleep still.
Oh, you kind gods, cure this great breach in his abused nature. The untuned and jarring senses, oh, wind up of this child-changed father.
So please your majesty, that we may wake the king, he has slept long.
Be governed by your knowledge and proceed in the way of your own goodwill. Is he arrayed?
I am in the heaviness of his sleep and put fresh garments on him.
Be by, good madam, when we do wake him, be awaken him. I doubt not of his temperance.
Very well.
Please, you, draw near. Louder the music here.
Oh, my dear father, restoration, hang thy medicine on my lips, and let this kiss repair those violent harms that my two sisters have in thy reverence made.
Kind and dear princess.
Had you not been their father, these white flakes had challenged pity of them. Is this a face to be opposed against the warring winds? To stand against the deep dreaded bolt of thunder, in the most terrible and nimble stroke of quick cross lightning? To watch poor Perdue with this thin helm? Mine enemy's dog, though he had bit me, should have stood that night against my fire. And wast thou fain, poor father, to hobble thee with swine and rogues forlorn, and short and musty straw? Alack, alack, it is wonder that thy life and wits at once had not concluded all. He wakes. Speak to him.
Madam, do you? It's the fittest.
How does my royal lord? How fares your majesty?
Oh, you do me wrong to take me out of the grave. Thou art a soul in bliss. But I am bound. I am bound upon a wheel that mine own tears do scald like molten lead.
Sir, do you know me?
You are a spirit, I know. When did you die?
Still far wide.
He's scarce awake. Let him alone a while.
Where have I been? Where am I? Fair daylight? I am mightily abused. I should even die with pity to see another thus. I know not what to say. I will not swear. These are my hands. Let's see. I feel the pinprick. Would I were assured of my condition.
Oh, look upon me, sir.
Huh?
And hold your hands in benediction over me.
Hey.
I don't know, sir. You must not kneel.
Pray, do not mock me. I am a very foolish, fond old man. 40 and upward, not an hour more or less. And to deal plainly, I fear I'm not in my perfect mind. Methinks I should know you and this man. Yet I am doubtful, for I am mainly ignorant of what this place is, and all the skill I have. Remembers not these garments. No, I know not where I did lodge last night. Do not laugh at me, for as I am a man, I think this lady to be my child. Cordelia?
I am.
Be your tears wet? Yes, Faith, I pray. Weep not. If you have poison for me, I will drink it. I know you do not love me. Your
good sisters have, as I do remember, done me wrong. You have cause, they have not.
No cause. No cause.
Am I in France? In your kingdom, sir. Do not abuse me.
Be comforted, good mothers. The great sage, you see, the great rage is killed within him, and yet it is danger to make him even o'er the time he has lost. Desire him to go in. Trouble him no more till further settlement.
Please, your highness, walk.
You must bear with me. Will you now forgive and forget? I am old and foolish.
Holds it true, sir, that the Duke of Cornwall was so slain?
Most certain, sir.
Who is conductor of his people?
'Tis said the bastard son of Gloucester.
They say Edgar, his banished son, is with the Earl of Kent in Germany.
The report is changeable. 'Tis time to look about. The powers of the kingdom approach apace.
The arbitrament is likely to be bloody. Fare you well, sir.
My point and period will be thoroughly wrought, or well or ill, as this day's battle is fought.
Know if the Duke, if his last purpose hold, or whether since he is advised by aught to change the course. He's full of alteration and self-reproving. Bring his constant pleasure.
Our sister's man is certainly miscarried.
It is to be doubted, madam.
Now, sweet lord, you know the goodness I intend upon you. Tell me, be true, but then speak the truth. Do you not love my sister?
In honored love.
But have you not found thy forfended place?
Lady, that thought abuses you.
I am doubtful that you've been conjunct in bosom with her, as far as we call hers.
No, by mine honor, madam.
I shall never endure her, my lord. Be not familiar with her.
Fear me not. She will be present.
I'd rather lose the battle than that sister should loosen him from me.
Our very loving sister, well bemet. Sir, this I hear, the king is come to his daughter, with others whom the rigor of our state forced to cry out. Where I could not be honest, I never yet was valiant. For this business it toucheth us, as France invades our land, not both the king, with others whom I fear most just and heavy causes make oppose.
Sir, you speak nobly.
Why is this reasoned?
Combined together against the enemy, for these domestic and particular broils are not the question here.
Then let's determine with the agent of war on our proceedings.
I shall attend you presently at your tent.
Sister, you'll go with us?
No.
'Tis most convenient. Pray you go with us.
Oh, I know the riddle. I will go.
Better your grace would speak to a man so poor. Hear me one word.
Our Lord take you. Speak.
Before you fight the battle, open this letter. If you have victory, let the trumpet sound. For him that brought it, wretched though I seem, I can produce a champion that will prove what is about there. If you miscarry, your business of the world hath so an end, and machinations cease. Fortune love you.
Stay till I have read the letter.
I was forbid it. When time shall serve, Let's but the herald cry, and I'll appear again.
Why, fare thee well. I will look thy paper.
The enemy's in view. Draw up your powers. Here is the guess of the true strength and forces by diligent discovery. But your haste is now urged on you.
We will greet the time.
To both these sisters I have sworn my love, each jealous of the other as the stung are of the adder. Which of them shall I take? Both? One? Or neither? Neither can be enjoyed if both remain alive. To take the widow exasperates, makes mad her sister Goneril, and hardly shall I carry out my side, her husband being alive. Now then, we'll use his confidence for the battle, which being done, let her who would be rid of him devise his speedy taking off. As for the mercy which he intends to Lear and to Cordelia, the battle done, and they within our power, shall never see his pardon, for my state stands on me to defend, not to debate.
Here, Father, take the shadow of this tree for your good host. Pray that the right may thrive. If ever I return to you again, I'll bring you comfort.
Grace go with you, sir.
Away, old man! Give me thy hand. Away! King Lear hath lost. He and his daughters taken. Give me your hand. Come on.
No further, sir. A man may rot even here.
What? In ill thoughts again. Men must endure. They're going hence, even as they're coming hither. Ripeness is all. Come on.
And that's true, too.
Some officers, take them away. Good guard, until their greater pleasures first be known, they are to censure them.
You're not the first to with best meaning, having heard the worst. For thee, O oppressed king, am I cast down. Myself could else outfrown false fortune's frown. Shall we not see these daughters and these sisters?
No. Come, let's away to prison. We two alone will sing like birds in the cage. When thou dost ask me blessing, I'll kneel down and ask of thee forgiveness. So we'll live and pray and sing and tell old tales and laugh at gilded butterflies and hear poor rogues talk of court news. And we'll talk with them too, who loses and who wins, who's in and who's out, and take upon us the mystery of things as if we were God's spies, and we'll wear out in a walled prison pacts and sects of great ones that ebb and flow by the moon.
Take them away.
The concept sacrifices, my Cordelia. The gods themselves throw incense. Have I caught thee? He that parts us shall bring up brand from heaven and fire us hence like foxes. Wipe thy eyes. The good years shall devour them, flesh and fell. There they shall make us weep. We'll see them starve first.
Come hither, Captain, hark. Take thou this note. Go follow them to prison. One step I advance thee. If thou dost as this instructs thee, thou dost make thy way to noble fortunes. Know thou this, that men are as the time is. To be tender-minded does not become a sword. Thy great employment will not bear question. Either say thou'st do it, or thrive by other means.
Oh, I'll do it, Merlin.
About it, and right happy when thou hast done. Mark, I say, instantly, and carry it so, as I have set it down.
I cannot carry a cart, nor eat dried oats. So, if it be man's work, I'll do it.
Sir, you have shown today your valiant strain, and fortune led you well. You have the captives that were the opposites of this day's strife. We do require them of you. So to use them as we shall find their merits and our safety may equally determine.
Sir, I thought it fit to send the old and miserable king to some retention and appointed guard, whose age has charms in it, whose title more, to pluck the common bosom on his side, and turn our impressed lances in our eyes, which do command them. With him I sent the queen. My reason all the same, and they are ready tomorrow or at further space to appear where ye shall hold your session. At this time we sweat and bleed. The friend hath lost his friend, and the best quarrels in the heat are cursed by those that feel their sharpness. The question of Cordelia and her father requires a fitter place.
Sir, by your patience, I held you but as subject of this war, not as a brother.
That's our Willits to grace him. Methinks our pleasure might have been demanded ere you spoke so far. He led our powers, bore the commission of my place and person, the which immediacy may well stand up and call itself your brother.
Not so, Hans. In his own grace he doth exalt himself more than in your addition.
In my rights, by me invested, he compares the best.
That were the most if he should husband you.
Jesters do oft prove prophets.
And that eye that told you so looked but askance.
Lady, I am not well. Else I would answer from a full-flowing stomach. General, take down my soldiers. Prisoners, patrimony, dispose of them. Of me. The walls are thine. Witness the world that I create thee here, my lord and master.
Mean you to enjoy him?
The let alone lies not in your goodwill.
Nor in thine, lord.
Half-blooded fellow, yes.
Let the drum strike, and prove my title thine.
Stay yet. Hear reason. Edmund, I arrest thee on capital treason, and in thine attaint this gilded serpent. For your claim, fair sister, I bar it in the interest of my wife. 'Tis she is subcontracted to this lord, and I, her husband, contradict your bands. If you will marry, make your loves to me. My lady is bespoke.
An interlude.
Thou art armed, Gloucester. Let the trumpet sound. If none appear to prove upon thy person thy heinous, manifest and many treasons, there is my pledge. I'll prove it on thy heart ere I taste bread. Thou art in nothing less than I have here proclaimed thee.
Sick. Oh, sick.
If not, I'll ne'er trust the medicine.
There's my exchange. What in the world he is that names me traitor? Villain like he lies. Call by thy trumpet he that dares approach. On him, on you, who not? I will maintain my truth and honor firmly.
A herald, ho!
A herald, ho! A herald!
Trust thy single virtue, for thy soldiers, all levied in my name, have in my name took their discharge.
My sickness grows upon me.
She is not well. Convey her to my tent. Come hither, herald. Let the trumpet sound and read out this.
Sound trumpet!
If any man of quality or degree within the lists of the army will maintain upon Edmund, supposed Earl of Gloucester, that he is a manifold traitor, let him appear by the third sound of the trumpet. He is bold in his defense.
Sound!
Again. Again.
Ask him his purposes, why he appears upon this call of the trumpet.
What are you? Your name, your quality, and why you answer this present summons.
No, my name is lost. By treason's tooth-bare gnawed and canker bit, yet am I noble as the adversary I come to cope.
Which is that adversary?
What's he that speaks for Edmund, Earl of Gloucester?
Himself. What sayest thou to him?
Draw thy sword, that if my speech offend a noble heart, thy arm may do thee justice. Here is mine. Behold, it is the privilege of my honors, my oath, and my profession. I protest, malgré thy strength, youth, place, and eminence, despite thy victor sword and fire new fortune. False to thy gods, thy brother and thy father, conspirant against this high, illustrious prince. And from the extremest upward of thy head to the descent and dust below thy foot, a most toad-spotted traitor. Say thou no? This sword, this arm, and my best spirit are bent to prove upon thy heart, whereof I speak, thou liest.
In wisdom I should ask thy name, but since thy outside looks so fair and warlike, and that thy tongue, some say of breeding breathes, what safe and nicely I might well delay by rule of knighthood, I disdain and spurn. Back do I toss these treasons to thy head, which with the hell-hated lies o'erwhelm thy heart, which for they yet glance by and scarcely bruise. This sword of mine shall give them instant way, where they shall rest forever. Trumpet, speak!
Oh, save him!
This is practice. At last, by the law of arms, thou wast not bound to answer an unknown opposite. Thou art not vanquished, but cozened and beguiled.
Shut your mouth, Dame, or with this paper shall I stop it. Hold, sir, thou worse than any name, read thine own evil. No tearing, lady, I perceive you know it.
Say what I do. The laws are mine, not thine. Who could arraign me for it?
Most monstrous, knowest thou this paper?
Ask me not what I know.
What you have charged me with, that have I done, and more, much more. The time will bring it out. 'Tis past, and so am I. But what art thou that hast this fortune on me? If thou art noble, I do forgive thee.
Let us exchange charity. I am no less in blood than thou art, Edmund. If more, the more thou hast wronged me. My name is Edgar, and thy father's son. The gods are just, and of our pleasant vices make instruments to plague us. The dark and vicious places where thee he got, cost him his eyes.
Thou hast spoken right, it's true. The wheel is come full circle. I am here.
Methought thy very gates did prophesy a royal nobleman. I must embrace thee. Let sorrow split my heart if ever I did hate thee or thy father.
Worthy prince, I know it.
Where have you hid yourself? How have you known the miseries of your father?
By nursing them, my lord. List a brief tale. And when it's told, oh, that my heart would burst. The bloody proclamation to escape that followed me so near. Oh, our lives' sweetness, that we the pain of death would hourly die rather than die at once, taught me to shift into a madman's rags, to assume a semblance that very dogs disdain. And in this habit met I my father with his bleeding rings, their precious stones now lost. I became his guide, led him, begged for him, saved him from despair. Never, oh, fault revealed myself unto him, until some half hour passed, when I was armed. Not sure, though hoping of this good success, I asked his blessing, and from first to last told him my pilgrimage. But his flawed heart, alack, too weak, the conflict to support, twixt two extremes of passion, joy, and grief, burst smilingly.
This speech of yours hath moved me, and shall perchance do good. But speak you on. You look as you had something more to say.
Or if there be more woeful, hold it in, for I am almost ready to dissolve, hearing of this.
This would have seemed a period to such as love, not sorrow. But another to amplify too much would make much more and talk extremity. Whilst I was big in clamor, came there in a man who, having seen me in my worst estate, shunned my abhorred society. But then, finding who it was so endured, with his strong arms he fastened on my neck and bellowed out. He would have burst heaven, threw him in my father, told the most piteous tale of Lear and him that e'er received, which in recounting puissant and the vain strings of life began to crack. Twice then the trumpet sounded, and there I left him tranced.
Who was this?
Kent, sir, and the banished Kent, whom in disguise followed his enemy king, and did him service improper for a slave.
Help! Help! Oh, help!
What kind of help?
Speak, man.
It's hot. It smokes. It came even from the heart of... She's dead.
Who's dead? Speak, man.
Your lady, sir, your lady. And her sister, by her poison, she has confessed it.
I was contracted to them both. All three now marry in an instant.
Here comes Kent.
Oh, is this he? The time will not allow the compliment which very manners urges.
I am come to bid my king and good master good night. Is he not here?
Oh, great thing of us forgot. Speak, Edmund, where's the king, and where's Cordelia?
I pant for life. Some good I mean to do, despite of my own nature. Quickly send, be brief in it, to the castle, for my writ is on the life of Lear and on Cordelia. Yea, send in time.
Run, oh run!
To whom, my lord? Who hath the office? Send thy token of reprieve.
Well thought on. Take my sword, give it to the captain.
Haste thee for thy life.
He hath commission from thy wife and me to hang Cordelia in the prison, and to lay the blame on her own despair, that she forbid herself.
The gods defend her! Bear him hence a while.
Oh! Oh! Ah! Ah! You men are of stones. And are your tongues and eyes? I'd use them so that heaven's vault should crack. She's gone. Forever. I know when one lives and when one is dead. She's dead as earth. Lend me a looking glass. If that her breath would stain or mist the glass, then she lives.
Is this the promised end?
Or image of that horror?
Fall and cease.
Because this feather stirs. If it be so, it is a chance to redeem all the sorrows I have ever felt. Oh, my good master. Till you away. It is noble Kent, your friend. A plague upon you. Murderers, traitors all. I might have saved her. Now she is gone forever. Cordelia! Cordelia! What sayest thou? Her voice was ever soft, gentle and low, an excellent thing in a woman. I killed the slave that was a hanging thee.
That's right, my lord. He did.
Did I not, fellow? I have seen the day with my good fighting falcon. I would have made them skip. I am old now. And these same crosses spoil me. Who are you? My eyes are not the best. I'll tell you that.
With Fortune bragger too, she loved and hated one of them we behold.
This is a dull sight. Are you not Kent?
The same. Your servant Kent. Where's your servant Caius?
He's a good fellow. I'll tell you that. He'll strike in quickly too. He's dead and rotten.
No, my good lord. I am the very man.
I'll see that straight.
That from your first differences and decay have followed your sad steps.
You are welcome hither.
Nor man else. All's cheerless, dark and deadly. Your eldest daughters have foredone themselves and desperately are dead.
Aye. So I think.
He knows not what he says, and vain is it that we present us to him.
Very bootless. Edgar is dead, my lord.
That's but a trifle here. You lords and noble friends know our intent. What comfort to this great decay may come shall be applied. For us, we will resign, during the life of this old majesty, to him our absolute power. You, to your rights we boot in such addition as your honours have more than merited. All friends shall taste the wages of their virtue, and all foes the cup of their deservings. Oh, see, see.
And my poor fool is hanged. No life. Why should a dog, a horse, a rat have life, and thou no breath at all? I'll come no more. Never. Never. Never, never, never. Brave. Undo this button. Thank you, sir. Do you see this? Look on her. Look there. Look there. Look there.
He faints. My lord! My lord!
Break, prithee, break.
Look up, my lord.
Vex not his ghost. Let him pass. He hates him that should upon this rack of this tough world stretch him out longer.
He is gone, indeed.
The wonder is he hath endured so long, he but usurped his life.
Bear them from hence. Our present business is general woe. Friends of my soul, you twain rule in this realm and the gorged state sustain.
I have a journey, sir, shortly to go. My master calls me, and I must not say no.
The ways of this sad time we must obey. Speak what we feel, not what we ought to say. The oldest hath borne most. We that are young shall never see so much, nor live so long.
Thank you.